Good afternoon, Justin O'Keefe from Talent Force Recruitment. Continue our mission to help parents get back into the workforce, to relaunch, to pivot careers, and to make that difficult transition. Today we're going to talk about technology. It's a question we get asked a lot about. Basically, it's very fundamental. People feel they're not up to speed, that the things have moved on drastically. And today we're going to talk about, in a broad sense, what's happened in technology, perhaps a slightly different way of thinking. And so today's theme, technology. So I'll give you my thoughts on this. In the next few videos, we'll talk about specifics about hardware and software and how that has moved. So the penny really dropped with me a few months ago when, in thinking about how technology has changed and how, since I started working in the mid-90s, is the penny really dropped when I started to think about, to stop looking at office technology in general as a finish line where you can work really hard and get there, and to view it very much more as a slow moving river, one of which there is no such end. There is just constant evolution. So if you look back over offices in the last 15 years and how they changed, there hasn't really been an overnight dramatic change. Just like in our personal lives, how we use technology, there hasn't been something absolutely dramatic. Now in hindsight, when you look back, what you say was, there has been a constant evolution. 10 years ago, or whatever, 15 years ago, we all got smartphones. These were phenomenal, these were amazing, these computers in our pockets. And now when Facebook is slow, or LinkedIn is slow, or we can't download a PDF, or our Lingus check-in app isn't working, we complain. So our expectations of technology have absolutely moved on. So in our personal lives, we use a lot of technology. And we're actually getting quite good at trying new apps, trying new features, using Aer Lingus apps, using Halo, using Uber, all these things. We're actually quite good at it. Well, the exact same process, same shifts are happening in the office world. So what we're used to on our phones or our computers, upgrading the software. Office does installs, fresh installs, antivirus definitions. So what we're seeing is, the average lifespan of an app these days is around 30 days. So what we're used to in our personal lives is a constant level of upgrades, a constant evolution in the technology. Just it's constantly moving. So this comes back to my point that if we look at technology as not a finish line where we put months of work in and we'll get there, viewed as a much, much more gradual process, and that obsolescence, things going out of date, is built into everything that we use, and exactly the same goes for the office world. And if we look at the technology people are going to be using in 20 or 30 years' time in offices, it's pretty likely that actually hasn't been invented yet. Okay, so yes, the technology, the specific technology that you used 10 or 15 years ago, WordPerfect or a specific version of Excel or PowerPoint, that is well out of date. However, instead, if you look at technology as constant evolution, it's a slow grinding wheel. The wider question I ask yourself is not whether I'm fazed by technology or not. I'd ask yourself two questions. One is, am I comfortable using a computer? Now, if the answer is no to that, well then it's perhaps time to look at the sort of roles you're looking at, or simply get comfortable using a computer, using the filing system and installing computers. And the second one is, not do I know a specific program very well, be it a software package or a CAD package or document management system or Word, is do I have confidence in my ability to learn to use programs quickly? Because if what we're saying is the technology we're using is constantly evolving, then the kids coming out of college today, the tools they're familiar with and they're banking on, just like we did, they're going to be out of date in 5 years. So we're all newbies. So the fact that you haven't been using office technology or office productivity tools for a number of years makes no difference. Everyone's a newbie. Just like on your phone, just like on computers, is constantly evolving. Just because you haven't used the tools, you have the right mental attitude to say, this is a process and I will start, means you're going to get there. So being fazed by technology, worrying about whether your skills are not up to date, that's a legitimate concern. However, if you believe you're comfortable using computers or can get comfortable using computers, and you're confident in your ability to learn to use these tools, which are getting easier to use, if you confident in using them quickly, then I think that's the bigger question. So hope this has been of use. If you have any specific technology questions, please post them below. We'd absolutely love to see them, and we will get you answers. Nice talking to you. Take care. Bye bye.